Hi, I'm Jamie Siminoff. I'm the founder of Edison Jr., a design laboratory. We manufactured a product called Pop, which went on Kickstarter, raised $140,000. Pop's it's a large battery with retractable cord reels to simultaneously charge multiple devices and multiple types of devices, so iPhones, iPads, Androids, everything all in one. With Pop, we actually ran into a problem where we raised the money, $140,000, and all of a sudden Apple told us, after a few months of trying to get approved for using their Lightning adapter, which was critical for Pop, they told us that Lightning was not going to be allowed on Pop. So we went back and forth with them a little bit. They actually came back with stronger rules saying that they might not allow Lightning to be with any other connector, and we decided at that point that we had to refund the customers of Pop. Sadly, Kickstarter didn't have a refund process in place, so it was one of those things where we said, you know, this is crazy that we raised all this money and we can't even refund it if we can't build the product. And so that sort of thing happening made us think, you know, there really needs to be a place where inventors can go that's just for products. Product's really different than anything else. It's not a music video, it's not a TV show, it's not all these other things that are being raised with crowdfunding. There needs to be a place where inventors can go, put their product, and where buyers can trust that product, where there's real credibility in that product. And so we built a place called Christie Street. Christie Street's actually the street that Edison had his lab on in New Jersey, and we feel like that rooted in invention, that process of rooting in invention was needed for inventors. And so what we do with Christie Street is we audit every product that goes on for a design for manufacture process. We audit it for costing of the components. We audit it for the factories, actually make sure things like child labor and stuff aren't being violated. That's on the way in. Once a product's on Christie Street, if it raises its goal, we then escrow the money on the back end. So let's just say, for example, like with Pop, something happens. Well, instead of with Pop, we actually had the money, we had to do the right thing. Now, instead, Christie Street protects the buyer and it does the right thing. And that's good for inventors and it's good for buyers.
So if someone funds your project on Christie Street and it doesn't get made, is there some sort of insurance process where they can get their money back?
So there's two ways we protect you on Christie Street. One is, if you want to make sure you get 100% of your money back, you can buy insurance. That insurance costs 10% of the product value. That way you'll get 100% of your money back if anything happens along the manufacturing process. The other way we do it is we do an escrow process. We actually keep the inventor's money and we dole it out in small sections, a third, a third, a third, based on reaching certain goals. You can see those goals when you buy the product, you know exactly what's happening, and we keep you informed via the website that you can see how that product and that process is going and how much of your money is, how much of your money is at risk in that process.
So I'm a budding inventor and I come to Christie Street and I say I have this great idea for this product. Can I just make a listing and start getting some money for it, or what's my process like?
So if you want to do that, you should go to Indiegogo, because they literally will let anything on. They don't look for any of the kind of things we're looking for. We've actually gone through hundreds of inventors who have sent us things like that. We look for, you need to be able to prove that the product can be manufactured. We need to be able to look at what the costing of the components are going to be. You need to either understand what a factory is that you're going to make it at, or allow one of our factories to look it over to make sure that we can make it at what cost before you put it on. Because one of the big problems also with crowdfunding is that someone will put something on for, say, $30, thinking it's going to cost $20, it costs $80, they raise $1 million, and instead of raising $1 million, they're actually out $2 million.
So you guys are doing you guys are doing more work up front, you're doing a lot of due diligence. Do you take a bigger cut than, say, a Kickstarter and Indiegogo? What cut do you take of funding?
We actually don't, we take 5%. We think that because product is a much lower volume business with higher raises, that we can still make the same sort of a profit at 5%, which is the same amount that Kickstarter and Indiegogo takes, rather than having to take a larger cut. You know, those sites do thousands and thousands of products that they have to look over. We're talking about doing 4, 5, 6 a month, so very, very low volume.
So what's about the ratio of the amount of submissions you get versus the ones you let through?
We're looking at like 10 to 1 right now. And we're hoping that of the 9 that didn't make it, that a few will come back, because we're actually trying to also help inventors to say, listen, here's what your problem is. Like that camera piece that you show, that's not a part that can be found anywhere in the world. It's too small, it's too this. Go back and redesign. Come back with something that can be designed, something that can be manufactured. And so we're trying to also help the process along, sort of, you know, assist the inventors.
And you're sort of eating your own dog food. Can we look at the doorbell here?
Yeah, so Doorbot is our wireless cordless doorbell. It's battery operated. Works for a year in the batteries, and when someone hits it, it goes to their smartphones, iPhones, tablets, Android devices, whatever. You can see who's at the door and talk to them two-way.
Okay, so that's all being funded through Christie Street.
That's being funded right now.
And
We're
that's
at
your product, too.
$162,555 pre-sold on Christie Street.
So we're here today, Nectar Sound Labs, introducing our Deca Bluetooth headset. Basically, it's exactly what it looks like, a style-based Bluetooth headset, hoping to introduce a little bit of fun into the Bluetooth experience.
And what kind of process did you have to go through using Christie Street?
Christie Street audits our supplier, takes a look at our cost assumptions, as well as some other, helps us with inventor concierge types items. So the types of things that would traditionally hang up an inventor out of the gate. Supplier management, marketing, these types of things, they make themselves available to you for their advice. You know, they've done several successful crowdsourcing projects before Christie Street, so there's a depth and a well of expertise there that we can lean on, and that budding inventors can lean on to bring their product to market.